Hello, welcome back to another podcast. I'm Maz, and we have Unhappy Sack today.
Oh, the Maz and Satcast or
Yeah.
another podcast, whatever, it doesn't have a name anymore.
How are we?
Oh, I'm fantastic.
Do you feel fantastic after watching 11 hours of TKO programming yesterday?
I mean, I guess I really don't know how to answer that. Yeah, it was there was good stuff. There was I don't know. It was entertainment, and I'm the asshole who sat and watched it all day, so I can't really complain.
There's two assholes, me
Yeah.
and you.
Yeah.
So, as we said, it is June 8th of 2025. This whole broadcast of hours and hours of entertainment started about actually 24 hours ago, on June 7th. And I dug into one of your comments you said during the shows yesterday about the buildings being empty, looking empty.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a fucking war going on outside.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did you see the ICE just scooping up people?
Yeah.
in
I mean, I've
Inglewood?
seen some stuff on it, but not really. Not really this show's commentary lane. I'm gonna
Yeah.
stay out of it, but yeah, I'm guessing that was part of it. I know that at first you tried to say it was the lights, but there were so many empty seats, it wasn't funny. But by the main event, it looked full. So
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if that was just people having trouble getting in, or I mean, it could have been. It most definitely could have been. I don't want to take away from that, but I think when you start off with the women's Money in the Bank right off the bat, there are still people that think less of the women, like so they don't show up for it, which I'm going to get into over the course of this show. I think is really bad. Because I think they're really missing out. But yeah.
So,
Are we just jumping right into Money in the Bank, or are we going to do this in order?
no, I was going to say Worlds Collide. We should
Yeah.
go first.
Yeah.
Okay. So this was at the old Western Forum. I believe it's the Kia Forum now, where the Lakers played in the mid 80s. And then the Money in the Bank show was about 2 miles away at the new Intuit Dome,
Mhm.
which is completely state of the art. Obviously, we talked about the lights and stuff. The feel of this Worlds Collide show.
Mhm.
How did you like the setup? It kind of had the Aztec pyramid kind of Titantron thing, so that was cool. I did read that they tried to get Mike Tenay to do commentary, which probably would have been a little bit better than Conan. But he wasn't really awful. He was just awful. Corey Graves did a great job. They had backstage interviewers from AAA, which was pretty cool. What did you think about any of that?
I thought the beginning was a little over the top. I think having H and Michaels and everybody in the ring with flags and all this stuff, I thought that was a little bit much. I didn't necessarily feel they needed to go that far for the whole thing, but obviously they're trying to make a point. They're trying to lean into everything. So, you take the good with the bad, and it is still professional wrestling. So what's a little bit of over the topness? I appreciated that the performers were probably given the green light to go out there and communicate in Spanish. Like at first I was kind of like, is this going to be this way the whole time? But it kind of made sense. They were really trying to, like at first I thought they were going to try and show people what lucha is all about. But in the end, it felt more like they just wanted to do a legitimate lucha show. Which I mean, I appreciated. It was interesting throughout the backstage stuff and the heritage type stuff. I thought was cool. I really did. I thought they did a good job. Overall, I thought the show was entertaining. And the main events, quote, like both of them, I guess, really like went all out. Like I enjoyed it. The women's tag match was pretty good. But Chad Gable and Vikingo like put on a masterclass.
Yeah. I really enjoyed the show. It was different. I've seen Lucha because when I was probably 15, 16, we got a satellite, and that was pretty fresh. So I watched all of the wrestling that I could back in the day, and I used to watch AAA, CMLL. This was like WWE-ized Lucha a little bit more, which was fine because it still stood out and it was different from Money in the Bank. But very entertaining. 5 matches. The best thing to me was each match had a package before, and it kind of told a story of why we're here. I think more mainstream wrestling needs to do that in terms of a big show.
Yeah. I mean, the only Lucha experience that I claim is that I watched Lucha Underground for a couple seasons, and it had like not that feel to it, but like the Santos Escobar when they have his back and he's wearing the tiger shirt and everything, like that felt almost Lucha Underground-y to me. Like it felt more like a movie. Like they were and I liked that. You're right. The packages that they did were pretty good, especially for the women's tag match. Like that package was fantastic. It gave you history. It gave you all types of shit. They did a good job. Like overall, I felt like it did a good job. I don't know what who the producers, like, I don't know if they let people from AAA be more involved in, the production of it and everything. Because again, it did feel very different from Money in the Bank, and it felt different from most of the things WWE has been doing. So it had that flavor to it, which I thoroughly enjoyed.
Good. As did I. They could probably, and I would imagine that they probably will get that like walking corpse woman owner away from the TV.
She's so scary looking, dude. So scary looking. Like she kind of reminds me of the robot Joe Biden. Like there's probably not a human under that skin, Like
it totally makes me want to watch They Live every time I see her.
Yeah, 100%. Yes, absolutely dead on with that. It's so weird. It's so weird. Yeah. And Conan, my wife made a comment about how he just sounded like he was like chilling at a barbecue, having a conversation the whole time. Like no change to his rhythm. I enjoyed him being there. He kept wanting to tell stories. Like it was a very different vibe. And Tanae would have been fantastic. I wish he wouldn't have said that, because now that's going to be in my head of how it should have been done. But Corey did a fantastic job. Like Corey really kept everything together. Yeah. Kept him together and kept talking about the matches. He had plenty of knowledge. Like he did a great job. Yeah. Kudos to Corey.
I call him Sterling, but yeah, because that's what he was here. So like we said, five matches. The first was a 6-man tag match, which there's going to be a theme of that coming on. They tried to get as many people on this little bitty show as they could.
Exactly.
So that's where that comes from. Lince Dorado came in for, what's his name now? Joaquin Wild. He actually is like a local Pittsburgh indie guy. I don't know, his Shima Zion was his name here. He fantastic worker from around here. But so he's out. Lince is in with the Latino World Order of Dragon Lee and Cruz del Toro. And they went against the AAA team of Octagon Jr., Aerostar, and probably the biggest star of the whole day, Mr. Iguana.
Yeah, that went over really, really well. Everybody's talking about it today. It's like it's something nobody's ever seen. I mean, like I put that up there with Doink the Clown. Like it's
no way.
Dude, it's the same gimmick, face paint. Like I get what you're saying. He was entertaining. I'm not I'm not taking anything away, but
Mhm.
like he did like pull a Santino Morello too. Like he's got the, he puts it on his hand and suddenly it's a live thing. Like, and I'm not saying that, he stole those gimmicks. He's obviously, he does his own thing. I got it. But for me, it wasn't as like, for me, it was like if this was a WWE show on any other night, people would be absolutely flaming this dude. But because,
No way. No
oh,
way. He's over.
100%. And it's kind of like I had to have a conversation with my wife about the whole, like, why don't the luchadors that would be considered luchadors, like, why don't they wear masks in WWE? And it's like, there are only a couple that have ever gotten anywhere wearing a mask like that in WWE. It's too much TV. It's too much brand recognition. It's too much of everything. And it's a culture thing. So like you had guys that if they had stayed in and not come to WWE and stuff, that probably would be masked guys and that in these matches, but in WWE, you just can't, I mean, who do we have right now? Dragon Lee is basically Axiom. Like it's, and Ray is Ray. Like you can't take anything away from Rey Mysterio, but he is one of the biggest stars like worldwide. And in Mexico, he is a hero. So it's not just a young guy trying to make his way up. It just doesn't work, in WWE because the fans are so fickle and they're so over things so quick. We talked about Cody, like they got over Cody real fast. Just it always is flat, so for me, it's one of those guys that it's you love to see him as a one-off, you love to see him as an attraction, as a sideshow, but if you brought him out every week, he would never make it past the mid card with that gimmick ever. Doesn't mean he wouldn't be entertaining, but I'm just saying, like, let's not like turn him into Hulk Hogan. I guess that's a terrible example these days, isn't it?
Very, very, very bad. But he lived the gimmick. Like
yes.
They pet his head and his tongue came out. He's great. Also, obviously, there's cooperation when they walk the ropes, and he used the iguana as part of that. So I thought that was.
I like that too. I liked that too.
Yeah.
When it bit when he bit with it, I was like, okay, this is funny. It's great.
Yeah.
That match took quite a while to get off the ground. Like I don't know if it was that the guys just, but they were very out of sync early, and it took a while for them to get moving. But yeah, you're right. The theme of get everybody in, let's do these big matches, let's get as many people in. Yeah, it wasn't a bad match. The ending was the best part.
Yeah, it was great. I think you just talked about like out of sync at 1st. The lucha style, they try to go 150 miles an hour, and in WWE, it's the sizzle, not the steak. So they're slow. The other guys are fast. I think that kind of.
Well, you always hear wrestlers talk about how the number one main advice they get in WWE is if you think you're going too slow, go slower. Like you have to slow it down. It's for TV, right? And yeah, it's a different style. It's a completely different style. But they had guys in there that you would have thought could work it, right? Like that's kind of the point. They didn't put dudes in there that couldn't work it. And Chad Gable is the greatest luchador of all time. I don't know.
Well, I don't know about all that. It's two different guys. So.
Oh yeah, sorry. Conspiracies.
Yeah. What did we have? About 7 hours of them discussing two different guys.
Yeah.
Aerostar, they said he's like a 27-year veteran. Octagon, I guess, is a big star. I'm not familiar. Iguana is now the fan favorite. Dragon Lee, he has a major problem because we just got done with 5-6 years of Callisto, and they look exactly alike. So he needs a refresh kind of. I think the guy hits his moves, but he needs a refresh in like style, like dress attire.
Yeah.
Cruz, he was fine. And Lince Dorado's not their guy. So he was there, when the Cruiserweight Classic, and then he went away.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen him. Like, yeah, it's one of those things where I didn't even know if he was part, like that first match. I didn't know who was part of what other than,
it was like a Raw
Dragon Lee,
SmackDown
right?
thing.
Dragon Lee, because I mean he's been, and I mean I thought he was like the LWO thing. Like it wasn't even like that's what Santos and those guys were doing, like, so that was kind of weird for me too. But I think they've switched that off of them. We'll get there, but yeah.
So obviously the AAA team won.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? Octagon with that little flippy
Mm-hmm.
pin off of the top rope, which was cool. And I believe Lindsay took the fall, so that made sense.
Mm-hmm.
Especially WWE booking wise. So 14
Mm-hmm.
minutes, 10 seconds, Team AAA with the victory. Then Dom gets on the microphone, trashes Octagon, and they fight, and then they set up a match for Money in the Bank.
I thought that was a nice little thing to do. You get, I mean, the match at Money in the Bank was a squash, but like whatever.
Right.
But Dom, Dom being there, obviously everybody, Dom is on fire. And they booed him out of the building, and he still got his gimmick over. Like I loved it. I loved everything about it. And he put on the Intercontinental Champion, threw it up there. So let's go. Bring it to Money in the Bank. I thought this about a couple of the guys though. The guys and gals that worked both shows, just it couldn't have been fun. Getting in between the stadiums after the show and everything had to have been a bit rough. And like Stephanie had to come out right away too. And we'll get to it, but their performances, like, you know what? I'm not even gonna. This is something I'm gonna end up cutting out because I'm stumbling over my words. But it was cool to see that they wanted certain people to work twice for the sake of being there for the AAA show. Like I
Right.
appreciate that. It had to have been tough. They had to have been tired, but good on them. And yeah, it was entertaining. I mean, Liv got a little bit of a moment too, like a little bit of screen time, which is always nice because they're trying to keep her relevant while she's not wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And then later we got the women's champions were there too. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. And even though these people worked twice, they all changed their outfits and everything too.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, totally different
nice
colors.
Touch. It was a nice touch. So second match, we get a package talking about Dalise and Chick Tormenta. We got about 5 seconds into why Lola Vice was in it, but cool.
Yeah.
And Stephanie, obviously, probably on that show got the biggest pop of the whole show. And it was a basic match. They didn't do anything. They tried to protect Stephanie.
Yeah.
Lola got some shine.
Mm-hmm.
And the two AAA women were very professional, put them over. And they both looked like $1 million.
It was a very straightforward match. You're right. It was very by the numbers. I thought Lola showed up and did good work, which I'd like, you're gonna have to see more of before they do anything more with her. But like she held her own with a bunch of really experienced women, which I enjoyed. It was very straightforward. Like you said, protected Stephanie, which thank God, because if she would have been, not able to be featured in the Money in the Bank, we may have thought somebody else would win it.
Oh, we're going there. But yeah, putting Lola in there with experience, and probably she looked the best she's ever looked. So good on her.
But by the end of that match, just to make the point, I mean, we're texting each other going, Stephanie is 100% winning Money in the Bank tonight. Like, it just has so much of what you want. She's what you would call a 5-tool player if you're a baseball fan. Like, just she has it all. And she might be newer to the WWE, but she's a star.
She is. And after Money in the Bank, she looked like Felix PA. But that's another story for another time. I knew you'd pop on that one.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh my God.
So 9 minutes, 35 seconds. Steph and Lola beat Chick Tormenta and Dalise.
Mm-hmm.
And what did they say? Dalise is married to the Latin lover or whatever?
No, it was some old dude.
Oh yeah, the guy that looked. Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
he was in the ring at the end too. He was like just an old dude in a business suit, and I was like,
Yeah.
well, all right, because
She's a cartel mama.
I mean, it definitely looks like she was rode hard and put away wet, man.
Wow.
She did great work. I'm not gonna shit on her, but she definitely looked like she'd either bladed herself a ton or whatever, but just definitely
A veteran.
yes, that's, I was trying to think of a way to put it, but yes, that is
Mhm.
the, yes, we'll just, yes,
Yes. Yes.
yes.
All right. So that takes us into another six man.
Mm-hmm.
I was very excited for this match once I saw who was in it.
Mm-hmm.
The Legado del Fantasma, Santos, Angel, and Humberto versus
Humberto.
El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. Now, isn't that like Alberto's brother? Wasn't
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I didn't.
I don't have the knowledge on this to go deep in that. Like,
So that another. While I say Alberto,
uh-huh.
they showed the vignette of Vikingo winning the title
Mm-hmm.
last week and totally xed Alberto out of it
Yeah,
because that's who he
that's a
beat.
problem, man. People were really pissed about that, and like
Yes.
him being part of it and everything else. Like they don't want to talk about him, sadly, because
Yeah.
he had a good run. He just turned into a like to be a bad dude, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Pagano, who's more of like a hardcore lucha guy,
Mm-hmm.
and I was very excited to see Psycho Clown.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and after the match, I was like, could
Yeah,
probably do without.
yeah. That's kind of how
Uh,
I felt too. Um, I was happy to see that they did what I thought they should do, which was get Santos the
mhm.
win. You know, I don't know if there's a run for him in the cards, but there could be. Like he's elevated a little bit, and it's not like I enjoy him. I enjoy all three of them, to be honest. Like they have to get something that isn't cheesy. They have to do something to be like for real. I don't know if this was it, but it's on the right path, in my opinion. So, and
Yeah,
this was another cookie cutter, basic, do the moves, get in, get out. Fairly short for a 6-man match. So those guys took some bumps, though. I'll say that. Psycho
yeah,
Clown,
Pagano.
yeah. Like there was some good shit in there. And they made them look like $1,000,000. Like
Yeah.
they really did.
So if this is the start of whatever partnership, or I guess WWE bought them or TKO bought them, but
Who knows? They're so full
yeah,
of
we're
shit with the
never gonna
things they
know.
say. Yeah.
We're gonna get into the shit
Yeah,
that they say in a
I
little
know.
bit.
Yep.
Um, but if there's more of this coming, this elevates Santos to. I want to
Mhm.
see Santos and Vikingo the next show.
Ooh,
How about
that's a
that?
level jump. That's a level jump. I mean, I'm for it. I'm with you. I'm for it. It would be very
Yeah.
interesting to see a WWE guy in on that belt, like for real. Because
Mhm.
obviously Gable wasn't, but my kids were convinced he was going to win it. Like I'm like, you
Yeah.
guys are
There's
crazy.
no way. Yeah.
That would be so bad.
But good match.
Yes. Yeah,
Everything was laid in. Dr. Wagner Jr. was pretty shitty. I thought he was the worst of the three.
I agree.
But Psycho Clown cool with the tongue gimmick and the
Mm-hmm.
mask.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. The next match was a fatal four-way for the NXT North American Championship, which I don't understand why that's defended on this, because then it just takes this
It's
down
the
to developmental.
it's the North American belt. I understood it, you
Okay,
know,
yeah,
but
maybe.
yeah, I'm with you.
So Ethan Page defended against Javon Evans, Triple A's Laredo Kid, and Ray Phoenix. This was another really good match.
Mm-hmm.
Javon Evans, my God, they have something.
Maybe I don't know. Like he's got a look. Like I'll say
Mm-hmm.
that he's got a look, and boy, can he is athletic. Like
Mm-hmm.
he is insane. I don't know if it's a, you know, I don't know if he has much more than that. We'll see over time. He's very green, right? Like
Green, yes.
yeah.
Athletic as fuck,
Yes. Oh God, yes. And that match it was really well done. Ethan Page really didn't do a whole lot, which I love because that's his gimmick. I still think Ethan Page is a glorified jobber, but that's just my opinion on Ethan Page. It was a good match though. It really was. I have a feeling that so I think what you said about dropping it down, or maybe not, but I actually thought that Ray Phoenix being in it was a little like
elevated.
he felt out of place to me personally. Obviously, it was to get him on the show because I don't know where else they would have put him. And he's really good, but he should be, more likely he should have been one of the Money in the Bank guys, and him and his brother should have had something going on. But that's just my opinion.
Or a tag match with Phoenix and Penta in this against.
Well, Penta in the Money in the Bank match was necessary. I mean, they put a rocket ship on him. Like he was gonna be in that match. But yeah, I get like for the AAA show to have them be a tag team would have been pretty cool. Obviously, they felt like they had to protect him.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I can think is that it was
I agree.
protecting him. But yeah, I liked this a lot. And you're right. I want to call him Le'Veon Bell for some reason. Like it's really bad, but he's a fucking athlete, and he's long, dude. So long that he can sell anything.
I thought like young Rob Van Dam when I was watching him, just like from an athletic standpoint.
Yeah, completely different build, but yeah, I get what you're saying for sure.
Yeah, with a little like mix in of Too Cold Scorpio maybe, but the Rado kid is really nothing to me. I saw him in TNA a little bit, but Ethan Page did the heel work, stuck in for the heel victory. Let the other guys do everything else and just
everything, like literally everything. It's just, but that's the gimmick, right? That's that's part of it. Like I get it, but I'm just not a fan of that dude. Like I don't get the draw on him whatsoever.
I do. And the funny thing about it is even more of a draw for them is that they're shoving it up TNA's ass or AEW's ass because they did nothing with him.
Yeah. I mean,
so that's what it is.
Yeah, not TNA's ass. They love TNA now, man. They're partners.
Yeah. TNA had a huge show last night. I think 5,000 people sold it out. So good for them. Yeah,
they're gonna keep going up. People are gonna keep if they advertise properly, they're gonna keep selling tickets because at this point, I don't even know like how they're advertising who you're gonna see because it feels like there's the potential for a lot of people to be moving back and forth. Maybe what's going on with Truth, to be honest. I don't know. We're never going to get the solid story, but allegedly I read this morning that they're going to be calling him Ron Killings. They're going to be calling him Ron the Truth Killings. So that in and of itself makes me think, okay, so maybe they released him from a WWE contract and he signed a TNA deal. I don't know if that's even how they're doing it anymore or if it's just a gimmick. Like, I don't know. But TNA is obviously going to be a big part of like how they develop and using a different territory, however you want to put it. So yeah, I assume that TNA is going to have a little bit of a resurgence in their fandom, which I'm all for, to be honest. Like they can compete with AEW because AEW is not in the realm of WWE at this point.
They have, I think it's next week. They have 2 tapings out here at Robert Morris.
Oh, nice.
It's actually pretty well advertised for Pittsburgh.
Okay.
But I'm not going to go, but it's pretty well.
You should.
Oh yeah. Oh,
check it out. Check it out, man. It's good wrestling. Go talk to some of the boys,
Boys. Yeah.
Boys.
We'll have story time after this.
Oh God.
The AAA Mega Championship, El Hijo del Vikingo versus Chad Gable. 22 minutes of absolute madness.
Yeah.
This was 3 times better than any other match on that card.
Oh, 100%. It was on a completely different level.
Yeah. They laid it in. They worked fast. Vikingo did some fucking crazy flips.
Shit he did off the outside of the second rope coming back in. Like took him a minute to set it up. Like I'm not like
course, yeah.
but holy fuck was that cool. They did lay it in, man. Like they did. And Chad worked and worked and worked. And he dude, he's so underrated. And I know that right now there's a lot of people talking about Chad Gable. I get it, but it's not like it's putting him any closer to a belt. And like again, in this instance, it's someone else's belt. It's not a WWE belt. And so it wasn't his to take. And it's, you know, I can't say enough. And Vikingo, like I felt so cool being like, dude, you remember when we did that draft and I took him like super high? Yeah, because like he's somebody that people don't necessarily know in the WWE world. I didn't know much about him when I picked him, but I knew enough. I think he might bring that belt to a WWE show and have like a Raw moment, he's going to get some exposure after that match for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. 22 minutes. I know this was probably your favorite match of the night.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Easy.
It was good. They did not need to use the table. They just didn't, but
yeah, whatever.
In the context, whatever. I was so hoping the way that they set up the table, I wanted to see that Slim Jim logo on the top. I think that would have been. But
the fireball ladder, bro. The fireball ladder.
We'll get there.
Damn.
If they do another one of these, I'm sure they will. Are you gonna watch?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm into. I really enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, 100%. I didn't necessarily enjoy that it had to be on YouTube, kind of thing. Like before it started. In the end, I don't know how much it mattered, but it was it's something I would definitely watch the next time they do it, like without even thinking twice. Like I hope that they'll build the card out a little bit better. Obviously, this was more of like a hey, we're doing this show, let's get everybody on it. And next time, I hope there's a little bit more like substantial things to it. But as a showcase of what AAA has and what they've done, it was very cool. And it was nice to see some of the guys that, you know, are stars right now. I mean, in WWE go down and have some fun with it. I thought it was great. Overall, super solid.
I just wonder, like, they pimped the shit out of Triple Mania during that, and there was another one, but it was in Spanish, so I didn't know what it meant.
Yeah, no.
But I wonder if they're gonna do more like how they're doing the PBR thing on YouTube.
Yep.
I wonder if they're gonna do more of this.
Power slam.
Yeah, exactly. So let's do a little break here before we go to Money in the Bank.
Okay.
I sent you a photo of me and Brooke Hogan. It was 11 years ago at the Legends of the Ring wrestling convention. Just a short story about that. This was when Sunny started her downfall. There's a hotel. It was all at a hotel. There was a hotel bar, a restaurant that everybody visits during these conventions because obviously they're there to, you know, stay the night and, you know, see the boys. There's a convention the next day. Well, Sunny came in. She was all comatose on drugs. Kevin Sullivan was like, "You can't be here." Dykstra had to carry her out. And then this is at the time she was fucking that Damian Darling guy, that indie guy.
Okay.
And he's like, "Yeah, I'm fucking Sunny." And I was like, "Okay, man." He goes, "You want to see?" I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" He shows me his phone, and it's a picture of Sunny with their slammy up her ass. Story time, you know?
This is where you come for the most wholesome stories ever told about professional wrestling. Fantastic.
I don't think I ever told you that one.
No, I've never heard the story of you seeing a picture of Sunny with a slammy up her ass. That is, that's a new one by me. I'm glad you waited for this moment, to be honest, because thanks, buddy. I feel
ratings. That's ratings right there.
Fucking A.
All right. Money in the Bank.
Money
2025. typically my favorite pay-per-view of the year. With Royal Rumble, they're 1 and 2.
Yeah.
As a whole, this was not my favorite.
Okay.
But it was a good show.
I thought it was potential, like it was on like almost a great show. Like I'm still arguing with myself on whether or not I think it was great. Like because I think they had a lot that you weren't looking forward to going into, or that you weren't really sure about, that they pulled out some really good shit. Like I was more impressed at the end of the night than I definitely thought I would be. And it's not just Truth coming back. It's not just that. It's how they built that whole match at the end. I thought the men's match was frenetic and insane, and that's what you want. I do think some of the gimmicks were like it takes you out. Like anytime you put a sponsored label on something, like it really like, oh my god, dude. And but to be fair, they're taking a ton of heat for it, right? Like they already know they're going to take heat for it, and they are.
But that goes into the whole, we're WWE in 2025 and we're going to sell everything that we can. So we're just here to make money.
Yeah. And that's a complaint, right? Because I don't know, dude. Like, I know it's professional wrestling, so it's like everything's a work. I think that they feed off of it a little bit, and I think they intend for people to get upset. I don't think they do it with the idea of goodwill towards fans. I think that now the money aspect of like selling tickets and stuff like that, and the prices and pricing people out, yeah, that's turning into an issue, but that's like everywhere. You know, like we had the conversation about movie theaters last time, like, and that's something that is for the average person. It's not for the wealthy only and blah, blah, blah. They are getting to that place, WWE, where it's starting to feel like they only want the highest level people there, and that's fine. I don't care, because when they come to Minnesota, they don't have the same attitude. Or when they come, you know what I mean? Like they still do house shows. They still do stuff for people. But the show, I didn't think there was a down moment across the board. Like if you have one, I'd love to hear it. But I felt like it was up from the beginning and it stayed up. So I enjoyed that.
Okay. We're at the Intuit Dome. Did you like the setup there?
I mean,
I thought it was weird with all the lights and stuff.
Yeah. So that stadium is all about its technology, right? So they were gonna play with it. I actually didn't feel like it was as off-putting as it was for the first episode of Raw on Netflix. I thought they did way more during that to make it like off-putting. This time I felt like they stayed away from a couple of things that they did during that show. The lights didn't really bother me too much, but yeah, it didn't feel terrible. It was half empty, like we talked about. Like when they opened the show, it was half empty. And I wasn't there, so there's probably several different reasons for all the different people that weren't in their seats when it started, but that's always a bummer. Everything else felt normal, right? Like it felt like you were watching WWE. So
yeah, it wasn't a very elaborate setup. 7-Eleven on the bottom turnbuckle is fucking hilarious to me. But it was cool. Oh, in regards to the AAA show, they did the ropes like the Mexican flag. So that was
I was going to say that when you mentioned the 7-Eleven thing too, but like we had already, that the green and red with the white, it was cool. The mat just gets more and more like logos on it. It looks like a UFC mat at this point. Like I mean, it's basic, which duh.
Yeah, it's all the same. All right, so what?
I do wonder how much WWE has any say in that. Like there's and this week with people being upset about Truth and stuff like that, I see a lot of like pushback on Triple H, and you know, like it's his fault. I don't know how much the control anybody in WWE has against TKO for doing all of that. Like, they are the investors now. They are the money now. So if they want to do shit like that, I don't know that there's anything anybody in WWE could say to fight it. Now, that doesn't mean, in my opinion, WWE has always been kind of an advertisement whore. If they can get people, they will. The mat was kind of like the last sacred thing. But again, TKO, you look at UFC and the way it's all ads on there and everything else. I just don't know how much they get to say anything about it. Like, even if they wanted to, even if they were like, even if Stephanie was like, dude, this is a little out of control, which again, I'm not saying she would, but just for the sake of this conversation, I don't know that means jack shit. Like, in my opinion, it probably doesn't at this point. TKO just says, look, this is what we're fucking doing, and this is how it's going to be. They're the money people. That's where they are in the business right now, guys. Like, that's what it is. So, you know, and I think the fireball thing, I actually think that, like I said, I think that's WWE's way of turning heat on themselves, like being like, hey, like, we have to do this shit. Let's incorporate it. Let's be stupid about it, and let's have some fun with it, because assholes like us are going to make videos about how stupid it is, and that's just more engagement. It's
right. Get people talking.
Yeah, exactly. So if they can use it in ways that helps them from an entertainment purpose, then they're going to do it. They're going to do it. And I can't shit on them for it at all. But the TKO whoring everything out, that I can be a little upset about and feel okay, I think.
Yeah. Like I said, Slim Jim is supposed to be on tables that they go through. So
on the bottom, though, right?
No, snap into it.
I thought the thing I saw, they were putting the logo on the bottom of the table. So it was like, but I didn't see any of those. Did you see any of those?
No.
I didn't see any of those. And there were a couple tables. So
yeah. So who knows? We open up with the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Alexa Bliss, Julia. Have they fumbled Julia?
Not yet.
She got no response.
Yeah, not yet. I don't think she was ever. I think they may have moved her on too quickly, personally. I think she needed a little bit of time to get fans behind her down at NXT, because she was kind of like, I mean, people that know.
Stephanie.
Yeah. Well, and Roxanne, to be fair. I mean, and I think Roxanne already has kind of a dude, Roxanne has such a vibe to her. It's undeniable. It's the little things with how she behaves in the ring and her looks and everything. Like, I mean, looks with her eyes, not like her looks, but like, she has something that, like, charisma wise, that I think just puts her a little bit ahead of the pack. Julia just, like, she's great, but I think there's that Japanese charisma that she just doesn't connect yet. She hasn't found a way to connect. And I definitely
it's
don't.
It's only been what, three weeks?
Yeah. I definitely don't dig the current gimmick.
Okay.
With the hair,
but
and the,
as we saw, she's just there for filler last night.
Yes. She was 100% just there for filler.
Rhea, who obviously is the biggest star in the match. Roxanne, who's the biggest breakout star. And Stephanie and Naomi are in this cluster.
Jesus.
So the Money in the Bank ladder match, I love it because it can be cashed in anywhere, anytime. So you always have that hanging over your head. But this, Naomi won this thing.
All right, I'm going to make a prediction. I'm going to make a prediction.
Fun to lose.
Yep. Yeah. She's going to be the first one to dud it. She's going to be the first one to fumble. And I don't know that like they have to do that to somebody, I guess. And if Stephanie had won it, there's no way, like, you know, they wouldn't, but she was, and this is no, I don't want to say it's no offense to Naomi if she happens to be listening, but Jesus Christ, like, what are we doing? Like, she was the most undeserving person in that ring, in my opinion, next to Julia, maybe, but like, Roxanne would have been fantastic, like, because then you have, like her, you got Liv with the IC belt, and then you got her with the case. The shit you could have done with Judgment Day and everything would have been just mwah. Like, and Stephanie obviously would have made a ton of sense because she's on that level, and the case gives her the opportunity to have that breakout moment to get the belt. So to me, the only reason Naomi wins here is to fumble, to mess it up, to be a dud, as my kids said.
Bliss and Julia were clearly there to be fillers.
Mm-hmm.
Rhea's clearly there to be the star. Stephanie's there to be a star, and Roxanne is there to be a star. And then you just see Naomi. Like, they did some great shit throughout the match. It was good.
It was very tight. Like, it was so it didn't feel chaotic. It meant like it felt very well done by all of them, to be honest. I kind of feel bad for Alexa. Like, I feel like she's kind of been shifted into no man's land. Like, I didn't
lost.
even, huh?
She's lost in the shuffle of bringing all these people up.
Very much so. She didn't feel like she had any place or purpose. She didn't do anything memorable. I feel like Bliss is like, she's got to go with the Wyatt Six, or something has to happen. I don't know, for her to have any spot. But yeah, Rhea, that would have been a disappointment to put that. Like, she doesn't need it. She doesn't need, neither does Seth, but whatever. I think I can argue that Seth did need it. Okay. Yeah. We'll get there. Cause I instantly like, no, I just said something that I don't even mean. But Rhea still, she's still mommy. So
yeah, she's her own thing now. She doesn't.
Her being there was the star power, right? But yeah, we both really thought that Stephanie would get it, and that but maybe they think it's too soon.
Stephanie's going to win. She's going to win the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, that that was the prevailing theory here too. But the Royal Rumble is a long way away, right?
Yeah,
like
they got time to build her. She's just getting there.
Yeah, but there's also a lot of time for the crowd to sour. There's so many things that happen before the Rumble between now and then, and that's the thing about opportunity, right? Like, when you have the right time, can you capitalize? I don't know that they won't be able to capitalize. I firmly believe they're going to capitalize on Stephanie Bacour, but and keep her, like, she's going to be a top star for a while. I believe. Yep. We could be wrong. We could be completely fucking wrong, but I think that's the overwhelming thought at this point. Roxanne has a storyline that she's already working, so she's on TV a lot. And like I said, her personality is just fucking great. Like, she just has a great ability to work things. Just, I don't know. I'm a big fan of Roxanne Perez. I didn't think I would be, man. Like, I at first I was kind of like, she's too small. She has nothing but a dump truck. Like, it's a very cheap pop for her. But the more I see her, the more I am convinced that she's going to be a manager someday or something. Like, she's going to be something. It was a good match though, dude. It was really, really a good match.
Until Naomi won.
What's that?
Until Naomi won.
Yeah, my notes just have a big ugh right there, because oh my God, of all the I thought she was on her way out a year ago. You can go back and watch, and I'm like, Naomi just needs to go. They give her a new gimmick, and now they give her the Money in the Bank, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, where is this even going? Like,
if you would have said Jade won it, okay, I get it.
Out of that group, yeah.
Out of any of them,
yeah. No, I don't know where they go, other than she's the first one to lose. She's the first one to lose.
Baron Corbin vibes on that.
Baron Corbin vibes. Fantastic. Yeah. Yes.
All right. Yes. The next match was from the first pay-per-view or event of the day. Dom and Octagon Jr., and you said it earlier, squash.
Yeah.
4 minutes, 55 seconds. You just dominated.
We get the Dirty Dom chants, which I fucking love. I love the same crowds that boo him to where he can't talk will do the dirty down chants, because to be fair, this dude is just wolf the like
Right now.
dude, he's must watch like he's somebody you would turn like back in the day when shit was recorded and like the two channels would fight over who was doing what because we're live this week or whatever. He's somebody you would have changed the channel for. And I never ever would have thought that when he was the scrawny little goofy looking kid,
Yeah. But he looks good. He looks good in the ring right now.
The fact that he has pulled the females, like the way he gets women to do shit for him and stuff, like his character, everything about his character is enthralling. Like there's just something so fucking entertaining about it. I just want to say the Carlito thing made me just as mad as R-Truth. I totally understand that people, like way more people, know R-Truth and that R-Truth was in his big match right before that and everything. But dude, I love Carlito. I've always loved Carlito, and I talked about Carlito after we went to the show in Minnesota and how like I tried to get him to interact with me because, I like Carlito he's a character guy. Like he doesn't do much, but he added like a different personality to that group. He added a lot. And I don't know what Judgment Day does next. And I don't know what Liv does next. I don't know what any of these guys do next. And it's awesome. Like they have a whole thing on TV, and Dom is over the moon.
Yeah. He's a huge star right now.
Yeah.
Next match, last chance match for the Intercontinental Women's Championship. Lyra defending against Becky. If Becky lost, she would never have been able to challenge for that title while Lyra was champion. Weird. Lyra's kind of over.
Yeah. I wish she was more over. Like I'm actually disappointed with the level of crowd interaction for her. Like I think she might be one of the better female workers right now as far as in-ring work. Like she is solid. She is so solid. They went 100 miles a minute. You were talking about Chad and Vikingo. Yeah. This match was paced out of its mind.
It's the best Becky's looked in 3-4 years.
Oh, easily the best Becky has looked. And again, I think Lyra has a lot to do with that. I'll be honest. I don't think Rhea could make Becky look good because Rhea's just a powerhouse. Like, what do you do? Lyra is, first of all, her physique is like sleeper. It's not like what's her name?
Chelsea?
No, Ivy Nile. She's not she's not that like crazy, but dude, is she yoked? Like she is huge. So strong. You can just see it. And then Becky comes out looking like a fucking anorexic mom. And it's like, what is going on? Like, how are they going to handle this? And yeah, Becky finally looked good again. Like Becky looked like
the outfit too, though. It was
pants.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you made fun of them at first, but like my kids did too. But I was like, dude, it's Becky switching up from the onesie that she always wore that I thought was like, I've said it for years. Becky is the worst dressed woman that comes out of the back. She's one of the worst dressed, period. But like they both looked great. They put on a hell of a match. I hope Lyra continues to get over. I think she might be a little boring for everybody. And like, I don't
be the promo.
Yeah, it is. The promo is a little lacking, and her and Becky did great work. If you watch they went back and forth. It's just, if people don't connect with it, right? I mean, Jay can come out and go, ugh, and people fucking love him no matter how trashy he is in the ring. But
we'll get there.
You know what I'm saying? But Lyra, who is like Chad Gable level of tight in the ring, can't get the connection because she doesn't yeet. I don't know.
She does the woo,
Yeah,
woo.
and it's so hard to time up. I've been there live for that, and I'm telling you, they don't have. This might be the moment to do this. Actually, there was a great sign in the crowd that said "Def Rebels sucks," and I saw it as kind of a funny little thing because there's a great line in Joe Dirt where Kid Rock says "Def Leppard sucks." So like in my head, I heard it like that because I say it all the time to my wife because she likes Def Leppard. The drummer from Def Leppard's only got one arm, by the way.
Yeah.
Um,
Big fan.
but the woo thing, because the music for the music that they have created, nothing stands out. No one stands out. It kind of fucked up the Rumble last year for me because you didn't even know who was coming out based on their music anymore, unless it's like, you know, the people that created their own sound or have a band do it, which, you know, not everybody has that, but the people that have these generic walkout things and they change constantly, like it's really hard. It's really hard to hit the timing with the woos for her because the song sucks. Like it's just not a good tune. They need to make it better for her interaction, but they suck.
There are a lot of rumblings coming out. Like Limp Bizkit's going to do Braun Breaker's new theme. There's going to be a lot of new themes coming. So
good because they're needed. They're absolutely needed.
It's a part of the person.
Exactly. And we were all very spoiled by Jim. Like we were all fucking spoiled by Jim Johnson, man.
So I think this is probably the best time. We talked about Bliss and Julia getting lost in the shuffle.
Mm-hmm.
There's two more that you have, Becky and Lyra.
Mm-hmm.
You have Bailey, who wasn't on the show. You have Charlotte, that wasn't on the show. You have Tiffy. You have what's the other champ that was there?
Io.
Yeah. You have Kyrie.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have Asuka in the men right now.
Mm-hmm.
You like there's so many women in that division right now. You have Chelsea, who's super over.
I think they're gonna rebuild the tag division with some of these stars. And I think you kind of saw that during the ladder match, like that there was a lot of like cooperation. There was a lot of like the double moves. There was a lot of that. And I think they're going to use some of them to rebuild the tag division because a lot of the layoffs that came from the female side, like all of them were tag teams. Like they were tags that either got broken up. Katana. Yeah. So I don't know. Like, I mean, maybe not, maybe they'll never rebuild the women's tag division, but it seems like they might go that route with some of these women that are kind of shuffled out. But you're right. I mean, there's a lot of people out in the wind right now. A lot
loaded. So the next match is the male Money in the Bank ladder match.
Mm-hmm.
And this was completely different from the women because this was story time.
It was chaotic.
It was the WrestleMania match, the main event.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
This should have gone on last.
Yeah, I mean, you can't. You can't. It's John Cena. It's the same, like, it's Jey Uso. It's Cody Rhodes and Logan Paul. Like, it was all the money. All the money in the business right now was in the main event. And that's why it was the main event. I'm not saying it's right, and I'm not saying I'm a fan of it, but it ain't the first time, and it won't be the last. Guaranteed.
But it's Money in the Bank going on. Money in the Bank, you know, it's so weird. So we have Andrade, El Grande Americano, LA Knight, Penta, Solo, and Seth. Obviously, with that lineup, you know who's going over.
Not me, man.
Really?
Yeah, no, I thought it was wide open. Honestly, I did think that you had guys to cancel each other out, right? So you've still got the El Grande Americano versus Penta shit going on, which they did include, right? But I completely buy that Penta could have won, like 100%. I think in the end, that's not where you go with it. I thought the stories between Seth having his group and Solo with his group, I mean, I thought that would kind of cancel each other out. I thought I mean, I kind of figured the Jacob thing was going to happen the way it did, which that doesn't take anything away from it. It was awesome. Solo is amazing. Like he really is. Like I'm a big fan of Solo Sikoa, dude. Like he's hilarious.
Facials once Jacob came out.
Oh my God. When he was doing the Sierra Mia, when he like at the very beginning, when they all ganged up on Seth, because obviously Seth has fucked with all of them on TV recently. And then they all turned to Solo and he's like trying to get a fist bump from LA Knight and everything. Like I loved it. LA Knight was there for the show. Loved
Star
it.
power.
I didn't really think he would win. You got me there.
He got a big,
you know what?
He got a big pop.
Yeah. He deserves it. He's doing great work. Like you can't shit on the dude for the work he's doing. He's just not. Yeah. So in the end, Seth needed it. Like that group hasn't taken off the way like they kind and if they would have gotten beaten down by the people, it would have just sucked all the power out of them and it would have been super detrimental. So yeah, and when you have Braun Breaker come out and murder people, like dude, the first spear in El Grande was insane. Absolutely coming down the wrong insane. Way. Yeah, so it was, I guess you're right. It kind of Seth was gonna fucking win.
Yeah, and if you really think about it, that whole story thing with Braun and Bronson and Jacob and JC Mateo, Jeff Cobb, it had to play out that way. Jacob is probably comes out of this the strongest. I want Jacob and I want Braun at WrestleMania for a title.
Please.
My God.
Please.
Give it to us. Seth is probably going to go after Jay, I would think.
I don't know what he's going to do. Like, I'm not.
They can't take it off of Cena for that. You know what I'm saying?
No. Yeah, it has to be Jay, but I don't know that Jay
might not get past Gunther on Monday.
Yeah, it might be a Monday Night Raw thing. I don't know. We're going to find out. Like, he might cash in soon, like very quick. And that might be why they set it up for Monday, like to have it right away. It might be a fake out, you know, but one way or another, I have a feeling that Seth is going to be making an appearance with the case on Monday night because Gunther needs to show up, by the way, because if he doesn't show up, he is going to fade into obscurity real fucking quick. And I feel bad.
He's going to get lost like Drew and Damian did.
Yeah. And I love Gunther, man. I'm on that ship for sure. And I'm going to talk so much shit about Jay here in a few minutes. It's going to be fantastic. But yeah, Jacob came out looking fantastic. I think Solo came out pretty good too.
Solo came out more credible than he had been for the last year.
Yeah. And I'm assuming that it's going to be him and Jacob for a while. I don't, you know,
or Jacob trying to get through JC to get to.
I have to assume that there's an intercontinental situation for Penta and El Grande coming up or something, because they're obviously continuing that, which I don't have a problem with, because to be honest, like you put them on SummerSlam and they're gonna, you know, in some gimmick match, holy, it's gonna be amazing. It's like it'll give you goosebumps type shit, you know. That's I mean, I'm here for that stuff. So give me more of them. I don't care. I don't know where LA Knight goes from here at all. But yeah, other than LA Knight, I feel like everybody kind of came out a little bit better than they did at the end of at the beginning of the match. Like they all kind of elevated, except for potentially LA Knight.
Yeah, I agree. Sad, but I agree.
Yeah. It is what it is. You know, he's done his work. Like he kind of came in to do exactly what he's done. So you know, he might get a pat on the head and go do something else, but he's still so over. I don't know, like what you can't step away from heat, right? You have to keep it rolling. So main event time.
Main event. Cody and Jay. Cody looked super refreshed, clean. Maybe it's because he dyed it more white than blonde. I don't know.
I don't know.
Then Jay gets the entrance through the crowd. Everyone went wild. Then, he said, let's bring it back one more time. And Logan's music hits. Perfect for a heel.
So my son, this is the first time I've talked about them really tonight, but he's sitting here, and as soon as he starts getting ready to do the run it back thing, he's like, Logan's music better hit. And then boom, Logan's music hit. And I was like, well done. Like, you're getting good at this, dude, because that was the moment. Like it was perfect. It was the first time in a while I've really smiled at Logan Paul. Like, yeah, we're doing it right. We're doing it right.
And that's his job. So he's doing it right. Yeah.
Yes.
And then John. Oh, John.
He's so pale.
So pale. So veiny in his right arm.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is that? It looked like
no
Marsa.
Clue. I've been asking myself the same question. Like, why is that happening? But I feel bad for the guy because it's probably a health thing. Like, he's probably, it's just the way his skin is. It's like, I'm starting to get some of that in my calves because I've lost muscle mass as I age and everything else. Like, I mean,
John has always been.
Yeah. So there's, it's probably just he's getting older thing, and that's part of what's his aging process. The sign with like a completely bald John Cena and SpongeBob on it for some reason.
Weird.
I loved it. It fucking made us all pop. We all laughed so hard. He looks awful, but it's obviously on purpose. Like that's it's part of the gimmick. He looked tired though.
Well, it went 23 minutes. He's coming straight off of the 4 minutes of Ron Cena.
I don't know if he has. Do you think he has a good one-on-one match left in him? Like a really good, like, I mean, somebody can make him look great, but I don't think it's Cody up until this point. I haven't seen anything that makes me think him and Cody again, or, at Mania, or, well, never mind. It won't get there at SummerSlam.
No.
Like, I don't really, like, I'm not convinced it's going to be a good match, to be honest. This match was great, in my opinion. I think the build up for it, you don't want to see it. Nobody wants to see it. The J thing is obviously 100% about crowd interaction, and that's it. In my opinion, if H built this match, if I could give one person credit, so I'm just going to say for the sake of argument, it's H went and said, this is what we're going to do creatively. This is what we want to make happen. It was built perfect for these four guys because Jay got his ass kicked. And in my house, we were so happy. Like, that's like, yes, give us Jay getting the shit kicked out of him instead of doing his sloppy moves and trying to make it look like he's the best, because he's not. So you just beat the ever living shit out of him. And we were here for it. Absolutely loved it. John giving Jay or Logan the keys to the castle to do it, to show off that I'm giving him tips. I'm helping him. I'm bringing him up. Heel work, blah, 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 from a dude who's working heel for the first time ever.
The first time.
Yeah. Like it was all great because, John's the GOAT, right? He's the last real champion. He's going to make sure that Logan is a champion before he leaves. Kind of like, I like that because it can move the heat from Cena as his story fades out, because Cena's not leaving with heat. Like that's not happening. There will be the turn back to get the flowers before the end of this. There's no way his run ends the way he's behaving right now. It just won't happen. In my opinion, I could be wrong, but I have to assume that with the way Truth got brought back so fast and everything else, that they're setting up a farewell for John that everybody can be happy with. So you move all that heat over to Logan. Fantastic. Like fantastic.
And it built into the story of the match too.
100%.
That's how Jay got to make the hot tag.
Oh God, that was funny as fuck. They're just sitting there fighting. Like it had to be a mistake. Jay couldn't get away. He wasn't capable. Right. And the whole time you have Cody sitting there and everybody wants to see Cody, You know, it's his first match back from Mania. Everybody wants to see him. Everybody wants him to have his moment, and you have to wait for it. You have to, like, you had to build up the tension. Love it. That match,
That's wrestling 101.
100%. Everything well done. And the guy that you want to see get the shit kicked out of him, he got the shit kicked out of him. That's just the best. And he's gonna cry about it. He's just gonna fucking cry about it because Crybaby Jay is who this dude is at this point. It's who the character is.
Well, that's the story too, going into Monday with him getting the punishment.
Yep.
And now having the monster. So.
The
spear was great.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Spear on the table.
Yeah.
The Logan drone shit was amazing.
Wasn't it? It was so neat.
It gave a different perspective.
Yep. Yeah, the second rope off to the table outside.
Awesome.
Just fantastic. One of my boys goes, "Did you watch the interview where Taker like told him to stop doing that shit because it's gonna ruin his career. He's gonna take him out. Blah blah blah. He's not gonna have any what's the word? Anyway, legitimacy because it's just the big moves, whatever." And I'm like, dude, he's young. He's taking risks. Like, that's the shit you want to see. You want to see guys that want to be in the main event take risks. And I'm here for it. Like, if you went back in time and pretended that watching HBK do some of the most ridiculous shit and yet destroy his body, knowing he's going to destroy his body, he's going to be blind in one eye, all this other shit, would you be like, oh, I don't want to see that? I don't want to see that. Fuck no. Like, he put on the best show all the time. And I'm not saying Logan is capable of the psychology and everything else of being Shawn Michaels. That's not what I'm saying. Don't get angry at us, fan. But that's his path. If he's going to be a top guy, his path is the Shawn Michaels path. He has a lot of the athletic attributes at this age. He's not going to steal his moveset, but it's going to be the take risk, be the big main event guy, be the guy that shows up at Mania, come become the next Mr. WrestleMania. Like, that's a path for him. So keep it up, Paul, brother.
I don't even know how to follow that.
Damn right. Fuck yeah.
So the finish of the match came in. A masked hooded man came in and beat up John, and it was revealed as Ron Killings. So I did some digging today.
Okay.
Obviously. He got fired. What was it, last week? He got fired.
Yeah.
The outrage on the internet went wild.
Mm-hmm.
It's a part-time guy that's 53.
Mm-hmm.
It really shouldn't matter, but everybody got mad. So WWE contacted him to come back. He didn't answer. Then Nick Khan. I think it was Wednesday. Nick Khan got him, and they worked out a deal. So he's back.
Good. So then it becomes a real thing where it's like, okay, take two. I saw Triple H in the post conference, and they asked him about that. And his response was, "Are you enjoying the show?" And that's how they have to play it. Sometimes it's legitimate that it and sometimes it's to cover their asses. I think this might be one of those times. I think it feels like with what you just said, it was very much one of those things where
it's public relations.
Yeah, people didn't accept it. They were not going to accept it. We got some fun moments out of it, though. There was after Monday Night Raw when Punk was out there and the crowd was chanting, "We want truth." And he kind of did the, hey, we don't chant for people who aren't here anymore. Obviously, talking about people like me that showed up to shows just to chant CM Punk's name after he left. Much different circumstances, obviously. But the "We want truth" chants over the course of the show happened a couple times, and I was very disappointed that one of those times was during Lyra and Becky. And again, this goes back to me, like, I'm not really this guy. It feels weird being this way, but the women don't get enough respect from the crowds. I think they put on amazing matches, and they it used to be funny to chant during a women's match because they were boring and slow and they weren't wrestlers. It's not the case anymore. So I really didn't like that. Then during the main event, when they started chanting "We want truth," that made sense. That's the match when you do it, right? That's
Right.
part of the show. That's part of it. Him coming back and taking Cena out was a great way to cap that match, because like I said, from my standpoint, it was so well done of a match for what it should be. It was perfect. It could have gone 10 different ways and I wouldn't have liked it nearly as much. They did everything right from where I sit. So bringing truth back at the end of that made it was just like a cherry on top. And I was like, okay, like I understand it shouldn't be the main event. The Money in the Bank match should be the main event, but that was a fucking main event from start to finish. That was a main event. You got 15 minutes of entrances. You got all the great in-ring work. You got psychology. You got storytelling. And then you get the payoff of the end of giving the crowd exactly what they want. That's sending a crowd home happy, man. That like it was, it was a main event. It was the definition of a main event.
That's business, though. That's how you can get these people hooked into buying these $800 tickets.
100%.
So
100 when you deliver like that.
Yeah.
And I'm not I will listen to people on the internet. I listen to a lot of opinions and I'm sure plenty of people are going to have all the negative shit to say outside of, even with truth coming back. Now it's going to be, oh, they had to cave to the fans, blah, blah, blah. It was amazing. And it doesn't always work that way. We've seen it work the other way so many times that you need to appreciate the times when it works amazingly and you turn off the TV and you're still thinking about it later. You're still talking about it later. And I mean, you and I are always going to be talking about it, but once we talk about it this one time, we don't talk about it again. That's not going to be the case with this. I think we're going to be talking about this show in particular for a while. I think the ripples are going to be bigger than some of the other shit we have coming up, right? Like Queen and King of the Ring aren't even getting their own show anymore. They're just going to be matches. They're going to run the whole tournament on Raw and SmackDown in the next couple of weeks. In case you didn't know that.
The finish is in Saudi, right?
Yeah, the finish is going to be in Saudi, which
just like last year.
Yeah, but they did it as a show. Now it's going to be Night of Champions, which I am a huge fan of Night of Champions as a gimmick. Like I think that could be a much bigger thing in the rotation if they did it right.
They won't, because it's in Saudi.
Well, no, I know this show, it'll feel like a glorified house show. It'll feel very predictable. It won't be great. But we kind of think maybe Lyra goes and gets Queen of the Ring. It just doesn't do anything for her other than just kind of push her. But she did drop a belt. She did. Chelsea's. That's the thing. There are so many women that have good shit going on right now, like really good shit.
Well, that's also what makes Money in the Bank so perplexing, is you didn't have the biggest stars in the matches, so that they can spin it off and make King of the Ring special.
Yeah, I mean, you arguably had, for the women at least. For the men, you had the second or third biggest star right now, right? Like Seth Rollins is still at the top of the charts. Like you
didn't have Punk, you didn't have Drew.
No.
You didn't.
Well, Drew, Jesus Christ, you're digging deep.
He just won.
You had the other guys in the main event, right? Punk was like, to me, Punk is one of the only guys where I was like, I can't believe he's not on this show. But like, not everybody can be on every show because they have so many fucking shows now.
Right.
Like
they're only doing 5 matches.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to Evolution as well. I think that show is going to be fantastic. If anybody's listening and they don't always watch or whatever, like Evolution is going to be a good show. It's going to be really good.
And we have Nikki Bella returning on Monday as well.
Oh my God. Why?
She's the woman's Dwayne. She don't have nothing to do now. And she has child support to pay.
I don't want anything. I don't know why. Why? Like, we're talking about how you already have so many like main event talents floating in the wind a little bit in this division, and now you're gonna bring Nikki Bella back. I hope it's just for a pop. Like I hope she's not back.
Oh, I think she's back.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's
All
disappointing.
right.
That's disappointing.
So we have 3 weeks until Night of Champions,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a 1 p.m. show, so that's fun.
What's the next weekend where they have 3 shows in one weekend they have coming up again too? They
That's
promoted it at the end.
Atlanta. That's
Yeah,
July.
Atlanta. Yeah.
NXT, Saturday night's main event, and Evolution.
Okay. Yeah, that I'm looking forward to that. That because
Yeah.
I think Saturday night's main event still has its own thing. Like
Vibe.
I don't hate it. Like I don't hate it. I think people want something out of it that it isn't. And then NXT always puts on a hell of a show. So that'll be fun.
Yeah. And with Saturday night's main event, you get more Jesse.
Bring on the body.
All right. So, in order to keep this 90 minutes moving, UFC. What did you think?
I don't have much to say on the UFC right now, to be honest. I put it on the thing because I didn't want you to feel like we were just going to avoid it.
Okay.
I watched most of the pay-per-view card because I think Money in the Bank ended like 9:15 or something like that, and then Cody talked to the crowd for a while.
Oh, I didn't see that. I went right to it.
You went right to it. So I turned it on.
They must have delayed the UFC to go for Money in the Bank.
Maybe. I know they delayed the pre-show of Money in the Bank to not start until the end of AAA. Like, yeah, they did do that. I turned it on and the first thing I saw was a dude tapping out. So that's always fun. And then immediately Trump is there in New Jersey. Overall, the crowd was great. Like I see a lot of UFC shows where the crowd just isn't playing along, or they booed a lot, but I felt like they booed the right things personally.
Yeah.
You can boo dudes running away from each other. That's okay. I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kevin Holland beat Vincente Luque by submission in the first match. He had a huge hematoma like behind his ear from a shot in the first round. It was really good. Very good.
Okay. I saw the end.
Okay. Then we got Mario Batista versus the debuting Patchy Mix.
Oof.
Everybody that debuts in UFC always loses.
Dude, it was he looked like he had no fucking idea what he was doing in there.
None.
Like
lost.
Just so lost. And then once he started getting hit, he was super twitchy. Like dude, I didn't know what to think of Patchy Mix, but Batista, he's still kicking. That match got some boos that I was talking about, by the way.
Yeah. Did you see Kelvin Gastelum and Joe Pfeiffer?
Oh yeah.
Dude, that guy hits hard.
Gastelum or Pfeiffer?
No, Pfeiffer.
Yeah, he does. He does, but he didn't put him away. I was a little disappointed. Like, and he was too. In the post conference
promo.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Oh man, some of these guys need some work with media people, whatever, media coaches. They need better media coaching.
They need to get onto NXT and learn how to cut a promo.
Yeah, no shit, because there's a lot of that doesn't go over. But yeah, Gastelum just he got hit early and then he didn't go down, so it was just keep fighting, but you can't. Like, if you're Pfeiffer, you got to end that. You got to finish it. You got to be more aggressive. He was too scared to lose. I hate that shit.
I mean, it was a step up for him. So
yeah, it was. I agree.
Yeah. The least surprising finish of the night: Kayla Harrison and Juliana. And then
the most exciting thing about that fight was the illegal up kicks.
When he took the point, made him stand.
Yeah, it changed everything. Kayla slowed everything down after that. She wasn't as aggressive, and then boom, Like,
It's over.
I'm going to tap her out instead. Cause I expected Kayla to come in there and just punch
Knock
her in
her
the
out.
face until she couldn't fucking move anymore. I don't know how I feel about the Amanda Nunes thing. I mean, Amanda hadn't looked good in several of her like retirement fights because she's like a cockroach. Like, you think it's gone and it comes back. Like, and I don't hate on Amanda Nunes, man. She's a badass. I wouldn't want to fucking be anywhere near fighting her. Like, just not at all. She's looked taller. I'm assuming she had heels on. I don't know that she's that much taller than Kayla, but if Amanda comes in shape, like, it could be a scary fight. It could be a scary fight.
I mean, she's clearly coming back. This is the money fight right now.
Oh yeah,
that's why she's back.
Oh yeah, and she needed one for a while too because they just every time, like, she ran through the division so fast that nobody wanted to fight her and nobody wanted to see her fight anymore. And
well, once she beat Chris Cyborg, I mean, that was it.
Yeah.
So this is the money fight now.
Amanda's going to get another headline.
Yeah, yeah.
I like that. I'm happy for it. It'll solidify her if she ends up winning. Like, she'll be the greatest champion. Blah blah blah. And I kind of also dig that Kayla wanted it. Like, at least this is what she said, but she wanted it for the legacy, because that's what she doesn't have, and that's the truth. Like, she won the belt, which Buffer fucked up, calling her the still when she was the new. She got the belt, but she needs that big. And there aren't a lot of women. There aren't a lot of women in the division that can give her a big bump in, like, oh my God, she's great.
Well, that was the belt that they handed to Juliana. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it'll be a big one. It'll be a big one. I'll be interested to see who else they put on that card, because
I wonder if that's the main event for New York City MSG.
Oof, that'd be sweet.
Yeah. And then the other, we didn't see this one coming. Merab destroying Sugar Sean.
I'm just not a fan. I'm not a fan of Merab, and he looked great. I can't say anything bad. He didn't. He blue balled for a while. He did, and I haven't liked that style since GSP. Like, I just don't like it. The lay and pray, but he didn't do that. He was a dog. He kept going, and once Sean got up against the fence, got up, and then instantly got taken back down, it was over. That was the moment that the fight was over.
You could see the body language, him walking back between rounds, that it was over. He had just given up.
I don't think that's the case at all. And I think he did look much healthier. I think Sean looked way healthier. I'm going to give credit where credit's due. I believe everything he said about getting better, outside of, like I told you, I texted you, like, he said he stopped smoking weed. I'm like, dude, we all can see you stop smoking meth, bro. Like, because he looked so different. His body, everything about him. And the first 2 rounds, he wasn't just in the fight. He started to get some confidence. He started to get some swagger. He blocked a couple takedowns. It was just once Merab gets on top of you and you're Sugar Sean, you don't have any way of getting out of that. Like, there's no fucking way. And did he blow up? Of course he blew up. Like, nobody wouldn't, like, unless they were that same build, that same strength level, that same conditioning as Merab, which nobody is at this point. But for a dude built like him and with the style of fighter as Sean is, once he gets held down and can't get back up, there's nothing else he can do. Because even if he got up, he can't throw punches that are going to have anything on him anymore. His arms are fucking shot. His breathing is shot. It sucks. It's demoralizing. And it's one of the things that, for me, I get Merab is dominant. So you can't say anything that takes away from that. I'm just not a fan of it. Like, I'm not a fan of that, but it's not boxing. It's not kickboxing. Groundwork is part of it. I just don't like blue balling, man. Like, just because you're bigger and stronger, holding him down, like, okay. But again, Merab didn't do that. He put the gas down. He ended the fight, and he looked like he could fight another fucking fight at the end of it too. Like he looked like somebody else could have walked into the octagon and he would have fucked them up too. Like wasn't even breathing heavy, you know, big old smile on his face. It's annoying. I hate it.
Sean O'Malley, worst UFC champion of all time.
Potentially. I mean, I don't know. It
Cody,
would
Cody Garbrandt. Cody Garbrandt.
I'm trying to think. I'm spacing a little bit. Who's the dude that beat Matt Hughes? After Hughes absolutely whipped his ass. He was just a little New Jersey punk with a really bad accent. Fucking bald dude. I'm spacing on the name. He's
up there too.
I can't think.
I am too.
I'm gonna have to look it up.
I got it.
You got it. You're going for it.
It wasn't Travis Luter, was it?
No.
I
can cut this out too, so we can just skip to where you get it.
Yeah. Where is it? I'm getting. Oh, here it is. Wasn't George?
It was before George. Matt is his name.
Matt Serra.
Matt Serra. That's fucking right. Matt Serra. Yeah, that dude.
No, he beat him.
He's my worst champion of all time.
He beat. No, it wasn't Matt Serra. Matt Hughes beat Matt Serra.
Yeah, but Serra beat. Was it GSP that Serra beat then? The first time they fought, like to get the belt.
Matt Serra, didn't he win Ultimate Fighter? Isn't that how he got it?
I don't think so. See, no. I'm gonna have to dig, dude. My old school knowledge of UFC has gotten rusty.
Well, because it's every week now.
I mean that's the thing. I can barely keep up with guys' names right now at this point. Like it's not just a group of like 45 guys anymore. It's thousands of fucking people, and they come from all different things. Like they, Ultimate Fighter, the Contenders series, the this, the that. It used to just be UFC and Pride, and then Bellator, and like obviously there were other organizations, but I don't know, man. I kind of miss the good old days. That Mark Kerr promo had me longing for the good old days, but then I remembered that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is playing him in a movie coming out.
Well, that's exactly why they did it, because that movie is coming out. Poor nothing.
Fucking Dwayne. Yeah, I know. Thank you. I just turned it off.
Oh, we just won.
You did?
Yeah. Skeens didn't get the win though. God forbid. 7 and 2/3 innings, 8 Ks, 2 hits, and
he should get the win. No, we took a 4-all loss, so we lost a series this weekend. I can't remember the last time we lost a series.
It's all right.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. Detroit has the best winning percentage in baseball. They beat us 2 out of 3. Can't fault them for it. I mean, Tariq School. What's that?
Yeah, I was going to say we've gone too long to even discuss the show.
Oh yeah, no.
Next episode.
Sure, but we can discuss it anyway. So we can classic. Where are you?
I'm 2-0. I still have 4 to play.
Ooh, look at you. Yeah, dude.
Walk-offs.
Like this. You know what? Let's do our sign off, and then we'll talk for a second.
Oh, all right. Well, we'll see you guys after Night of Champions. I guess that's the next.
Is that right? Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe we'll do a post evolution fucking.
That's.
Is that after it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then yes, Night of Champions it is.
I was thinking we could do a roster breakdown.
Ooh.
And then who we would keep and who we would fire. And we could
do a one-off.
And we could do AEW too.
We could do a one-off for sure. I like that.
Just to see how inflated the rosters are, how many people.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. But for now, we're going to say goodbye because we're done.
And you can watch an hour and 45 minutes of us.
Oh, it'll be down to an hour and a half.
All right.
Actually, I don't know
Thank you
if it
for watching.
will be or not.
Like,
Now,
comment,
see,
subscribe.
no, you can't do that because I
Why?
was talking. You got to do it
Oh.
again.
Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe.
Thank you. Love you guys. Peace.